Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Shut Door? Door Shutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of All the Mods 9. Today is episode 10, and we're going to kind of get some more finalization with our power system. So right now, we're actually going to get flux dust here. Ooh, what is that? Screen tearing. What in the world was that? What did I just see? Is that because I'm standing on bedrock? Is that what that was? What was that? Kind of tempted to let it happen. Okay, yeah, that is what? Okay, flux dust. Anyway, um, I'm down at bedrock because I need to be able to put obsidian, and I need to toss redstone in here. We need to make sure my magnet is off. Toss the redstone, punch that. That'll give us flux dust. Okay. I really have no idea what in the world is happening with the bedrock, like, engulfing you in black. I'm not sure. I don't care. That was kind of terrifying because I was not expecting it. But anyway, flux dust. Perfect. So we are going to need a handful of Eyes of Ender. And I actually got a handful from him. The Wandering Trader. He had a deal for a couple of them. So, it's not terrible. Alright. At Flux, we're going to need a flux plug, which requires flux cores, which we're going to need to probably get at least 3 sets of. Because we also want to get a flux controller. Ooh, the flux controller is not going to happen. Not right now, at least. Then we'll get the redstone block here. Okay. So we've got a flux plug. Flux point. Okay. So the flux plug is where our energy is going to come in. Once we get more Eyes of Ender, which we'll work on here in a second, we will get the Flux Network controller, this thing right here, or Flux controller. That'll allow for us to get some wireless charging action going as well. But let's get rid of this. So let's do Flux plug. Let's do power surge, bypass limit, chunk loading. We can't do that yet, so that's okay. Let's create a new network. Let's just go public, create. Let's make sure we set that here. Perfect. So that should, once we start requesting power, that should be starting to draw power. The only thing is right now is, of course, since we don't have any kind of storage, which is the basic flux storage, the Herculean storage, or the Gargantuan storage, it won't have a draw of power as of yet until we set that there. Okay. And what I want to do, of course, is since we're doing this, we'll be able to reactivate that. I also want to get a pulverizer real quick, because the pulverizer is actually going to assist us with getting some more Eyes of Ender. So let's see, pulverizer. Because we're looking at Ender Pearl dust from thermal. So let's look up Ender. Is it just called Pearl Dust? What is it called? Let's look up. So, the reason we're looking for this here, let's go check this out, is because, of course, once we have Enderman Overhaul, it kind of ruins some things here. And I went over to the Nether, to the Warped Forest, to get warped pearls, apparently. I wasn't trying to get warped pearls at the end of the day, but that's what happens. So if we throw these into a pulverizer, we can get Ender Pearl Dust. Ender Pearl Dust can then be converted back, I'm pretty sure, into... Where is it at? Oh, can it not be converted back? Well, that may not be a go then. Well... Okay. So warped pearls are basically useless for us because we can't make Eyes of Ender. I was hoping I could make Eyes of Ender. I don't see a way to convert these, in all honesty. They can be used for quite a bit of recipes, but not all the recipes. I was trying to find some way to be able to just convert them back. And I don't think we have a single way. Yeah, there's 9 to 1. Yeah, that's not going to work. Because you only get 1 for 1. Yeah, okay. So that kind of locks us a little bit in that position. We need to find normal Enderman. Enderman overhaul make that a little bit more difficult. Man, I hate that. I hate that being more difficult. So we're going to have to hold off on doing anything over here. I was going to try and put a flux point over here, but since I don't have enough ender pearls like I need, I can't do that yet. How are we doing over here anyway? So we've got, 47 ancient debris. That is awesome. So let's snag those up. 1.4, 1,432 diamonds, 599 emeralds. How are we doing on everything else? 4,000 redstone, 10,000 raw. I also want to make ender chests. Of course, I can't do that because I don't have Eyes of Ender. We're going to have to basically figure out a way to get some ender pearls here. Ender pearl, like normal ender pearls. That's generalized ender predictions. We don't have anything for that. I guess I might just have to go find Enderman. Which is not really what I want to do. Not at all. Stronghold corridors. The Badlands, the Cavemen, the Dark Oak Endermen. Huh. There's tons of different variations. A Savannah Hood, huh? It's definitely interesting, but I would love to just find normal Enderman. Okay, I'll be back. See if I can find something. I'll get this ancient debris process down, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we're going to get to crafting some refined storage stuff here. So first things first, we need to get a controller. So a controller requires some quartz-enriched iron. We're going to make 4 stacks of that. Okay, we're going to need a machine casing, which requires some stone. Okay, so we should be able to get the machine casing. Let's actually just grab about 4 of those just in case. I don't know what else needs them, but let's just grab it in case. So controller. We can look at a disk drive, which requires a chest. Let's quickly grab one of those, wherever they are. Right there, perfect. So disk drive. Next thing we're going to look at is a grid. Looks like we're going to need a construction and deconstruction core. Let's bookmark those real quick. So construction is glowstone, destruction is quartz. So let's go for 5. Not that. And 5. So those are iron. So there's 5 construction, 5 destruction. And then that should give us a grid once we get some glass. Let me make sure if I got glass over here. I do not. Okay, so we may have to use this glass. I hope that'll work. That'll work, perfect. And then we're going to want to look at getting a crafting grid, which requires a crafting table. Looks like we got 3 of those in here, so that's not too terrible. So crafting grid, and then we're going to need... we might as well grab a disk manipulator. So the disk manipulator isn't going to be used until a little bit later, but it'll be useful to pull items out of your system that are in drawers. So if you add a drawer because you realize, hey, I have 5,000 red bricks, right? And you want to throw those into a drawer, instead of pulling all 5,000 out, you can just pull your disk out and then put it into the disk manipulator, and then it'll output using, of course, the storage bus or external storage. What is it called for refined? I want to make sure that I'm getting this right. So external storage it'll push all of the items out to the external storage, which is like your drawers or whatever your external storage device is actually connected to. In this case, it would be the storage controller, and then it would push into the drawers that are connected if they have the item that matches, if that makes sense. Of course, we'll get into it much later down the line here, once we start getting ender chests and things like that. All right, so let's also quickly make some cables. Give us 12 cables. And then, of course, we need the storage housings. So let's grab one. Let's grab two. And then let's grab disk manipulator. And that'll be good for a little bit later. All right. So one of the issues, of course, we're going to run into is needing a disk, a storage disk. You could make 64K. You could make 16K. If we actually look, storage. All right, so real quick, if we look at storage disk, of course, there's quite a few different things in here. We can ignore these ones because these are all AE2 related. We're looking for the ones that are kind of a little bit more flat in a sense. So we've got 1048, which is a lot of items. 262, it just keeps going, right? These are all extra disks. So this would be after what refined storage offers, which refined storage offers 1K, 4K, 16K, 64K, and that's it. So we're going to look at probably getting 256, maybe 64K. I'm not 100% sure. It's going to take a little bit for me to get to this. Remember, of course, if you don't have the resources to get improved processors or advanced processors, you most likely won't be able to get these. But we're going to need to be able to get the 256K storage parts, which require 4 advanced processors. The 64K requires 64 advanced processors, but you need 3 of those to get the 256. So you're going to kind of get that cycle of you're going to need a lot of processors. So let me get the 256K or a couple 64Ks, not 100% sure, and we'll be right back here in a little bit. All right, so let's get this thing placed down here. So we're going to grab the controller, the disk drive, the crafting grid. We're going to leave the disk manipulator in there for now. And we got a 256K storage drive. So we got a flux point, went and killed the normal Enderman. So we should be able to just activate all that stuff. Get a controller placed down. Okay. We're going to do disk drive. We're going to do crafting grid. We're going to toss our disk in there. And we're just going to start offloading stuff. Okay. So this is the easy part. Just start loading this full of items. So with refined storage, basically I can store up to 256,000 items. There's no difference between types. There's nothing like that. It's just straight items, okay? So I could put 256 chest plates in here. I could put, 256,000 cobblestone. Doesn't matter, okay? So let's get that going, and we will be right back. All right, so everything is thrown in here. So we've got 25,000 items in here. Not too much items. So the next thing we're going to want to get is the external storage. But we're also going to quickly set this to JEI synchronized auto select. So basically now when we search, we'll be able to search JEI to then be able to craft certain things. So that is fantastic. Let's quickly bookmark this. Yep, I forgot. Need to click off of the screen. Let's do... Okay, two-way is probably the best option here. There we go. Is it gonna fight me on this too? So let's just set this to two-way, not auto-select. There we go. Okay, so that way we can click off to the right here or to the left and be able to bookmark things in JEI. That's what I was having issues with there for a second. Okay, so we're on JEI synchronized two-way. Okay, so basically what that means is we can actually search here as well. So if we looked up refined storage, it would look up here. But if we change this to the JEI synchronized just normal, this won't search here. So doing two-way is the best option. Okay, hopefully that's a good explanation to that. But let's get a chest. We just need a normal chest. Nothing complicated. Okay. And then we're going to get external storage. We're going to grab some cable. we're probably going to... I guess we don't need more cable. I was about to say we probably need more cable, but I forgot that a quest gave us some cable, so that's awesome. Do we have covers or facades in this? I kind of forget. Refined storage. I'm pretty sure we have some sort of covers. Yeah, this right here. So just an iron nugget. Let's try that real quick, because I want to be able to cover up our shenanigans. Yep, there we go. Okay. So we can just have this come out of here. And cables in refined storage do not have channels or anything, so you don't really need to worry too much about that, which is a fantastic thing with refined storage. You don't have to worry about channels. You could set the config for AE2 to not require channels either. There is guides out there how to do that. So, but I know a lot of people just don't like it being in the base. But refined storage is one of those things where a lot of people enjoy it because you don't have to worry about them. And I agree. It's awesome that we don't have to worry about it. Sometimes I just like worrying about it. So, it doesn't really matter which one we chose this time. AE2 refined storage. Either one's a decent option. So, all right. This should allow for us to look for example, redstone. So we should see 1.9. Okay. That is awesome. We've got all of this stuff in here. We should have... I'll look up copper ingots as well. There we go. 4.5 thousand copper. The most useless thing in here. And what we could do is actually grab our disk manipulator to make sure that we don't have anything in our system that needs to go into those drawers. So that will... Oh, actually, it looks like we have stuff that could push off into the drawers. That is fantastic. Of course, there are upgrades for refined storage that you could get to make this faster. Let's see, where is it? So there's the stack upgrade, and there's also the speed upgrade. Those two would actually assist in making this much quicker. So if we actually wanted to pull this out here for a second and look at getting a couple speed upgrades, I don't think they're too expensive. Let's go for 6. You need 4 speeds to actually get 1 stack. Okay, and then let's grab another couple speeds. Do that. Put the 256k back in here, and that'll speed up the rate at which it actually deposits items. So there we go. So 250, 015. That's not bad at all. I just butchered saying that number, but that's a decent chunk of items taken out of our disk. But that's the reason you get the disk manipulator. It's one of the things I always go for in the beginning, especially because you probably had items in the chest that definitely could have been put over here. All right. But I think that's going to do this for this episode. I know we didn't really get too far into things, but this is the very basic, very beginning of refined storage. We've got a decent power system, so we're not going to have to worry about power issues or anything like that for now. One of the other things, I'm going to keep a lot of these single items here placed into this, just because it's not a good idea to just fill your refined storage system with single items. If they stacked, it'd be better, but a lot of these items do not stack, so that becomes an issue. Hopefully, next episode, we'll be able to get an ender chest network set up and everything like that, because that would be awesome, especially for the tree farm, for all of our ore processing and stuff like that, but we will focus on that next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. This has been fun. I actually have not looked at refined storage in a hot minute. We've been messing with AE2 a lot more. I'm hoping that we don't have issues with refined storage like we did in FTB Skies or anything like that. But yeah, stay awesome. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.